everyone. Welcome to Music Scrap, the musical scrapper. It is a cool but warmer day on the east coast of Canada here. Anyway, this is the watercolor I did on Thursday for my prompt crash. Lovely wave coming in, crashing into the shore. Hi Eileen, hi Dar. Hey Sophia. And Sarah, Judy Patootie, and Joan. Misha, hello, hello. Mindy. Anyone else I missed? Let's see here. Denise, hello, hello. Dr. Dot, Galdina. And Steffi, hello, hello. I think Eileen, I said hi to everyone now, I believe. So today's prompt is clouds. So I have a photo reference for that, which unfortunately I can't show because it's from Paint My Photo, and I didn't realize we weren't allowed to show them online. We're allowed to use them without referencing the name and with selling product and etc. But apparently I'm not allowed to show them online, which I didn't realize earlier, but I will be more careful now. Just get my album open here. But it is a photo of a very cloudy day. And if I remember correctly, it was from Norway, I think. So there's a river, some mountains, and then a very dark, cloudy day. But just before I do that, I want to show you what I am going to do for my scavenger hunt. My niece gave me this Smash book a few years ago for Christmas. And I haven't used it yet because I was trying to think what I could use it for. I made them, that's what gave her the idea to give me this. I made my two younger nieces, Sarah and Jessica, junk journals one year for Christmas. Or was it for their birthdays? No, I think it was for Christmas. And they use them for, movie ticket stubs and fun stuff like that. But I just don't go out to the movies even often enough, so I didn't. So it's been sitting on my shelf for at least 3 years, waiting for something to use it for. So I'm going to use it for my scavenger hunt. So I have, it's the red one, and of course I still have the pen and the little glue stick that comes with it. What I did for my printout is I created a PDF here, printed it out double-sided on cardstock, then I punched a couple of holes here and here, and I just tied it into the binding. Now, Janet's not here yet, but if she watches the recording, Eileen has told me this doesn't count as the tip-in page, so that's no worry. Actually, I am going to be stamping numbers on each page, and because it's one of my OCD tendencies, I am going to be doing in order. There's just exactly the right number of pages to have one page for each number. So, well, with a couple pages left over, especially since 48 and 49 were kidnapped. So this will be like page 1, page 2, page 3, etc. So I will be numbering those. I'm just going to stamp the numbers on the pages. So if I have time at the end of my stream today, I'll just go through and stamp that, because I know Ella's not streaming tonight. She's streaming on the 3rd Monday. So that will be next Monday. Hey, Kimberly. Hello, hello. Anyone else come in? Oh, Janice came in since I said my hellos. Welcome, welcome. If I miss you coming in, yell at me. Okay, so cloudy. Oh, gosh. I didn't even get my watercolors out of my desk. I thought it was all ready. Yes, I'm using my M-grams because I don't want to keep jumping back and forth. I really want to learn. I learned how my shin-hans work with each other, and now I want to do a lot of painting with my M-grams to really learn how they work and how they react and etc. Instead of jumping around from one brand to another. Oops. Okay. All right. Oh, gosh. That probably had my address on it. Eek. Oh, well. It's like, what are they going to do? Come all the way to Canada? And, like, honestly. Okay. All right, I need to fix my iPad so it doesn't keep going dark on me. One moment here. All right. Display and brightness. Turn off the auto lock. All right. All right. Oh yeah, Sophia, there are. It's a smash book, yeah. It's a smash book, Teresa. And I will likely cut out letters and put scavenger hunt on the front or something like that. It is embossed with a design, so I might, who knows what I'll do at the front. But it'll be one of my first projects with my new Cameo. I've done a little playing and testing, but no actual project yet. All right, so I'm getting out my size 11. These are Zen. They're made by Royal Langnickel. They're a Zen line of brushes. They're squirrel and a squirrel mix. And some of them are totally faux squirrel. So they're artificial but act like squirrel. And okay, just a second, I need to find my other sizes that I'm going to need. This one, my number 7, my number 11, my number 7, and my number 3. Oh, that's my 5. I don't use my 5 very often. I either use my 7 or my 3. Okay. And of course I'm going to need I think I'll use my this brush is, just a moment, I need to get out my oh no, I'll install later. I wanted to do it later. Okay. All right. So I need my magnifying glass app here. Mag Light, it's called. This one is Princeton Art and Brush Company, and it is a 3/4 inch wash. It's called a wash brush. So it's a flat brush. They call it a wash. So it is a Princeton. So, oh, I need to draw in my mountain line and my two bodies of water. There's a river and then there's a kind of an inlet over here. So all right, and so this is actually where the river bend kind of disappears. And then over here, there's like an inlet. And there's a little island right there. All right, I think that's all I. Oh, I see. Okay, I almost missed something. That inlet, actually. Oh. Wait, hold on. There's actually a little stream that goes from that inlet to the river. Okay. Let's start with the sky. So I knew something was wrong. Hold on. I don't have my... Whoa! My... Not sure where my... Where did it go? Don't know where it went. I wonder if I have something else. I don't know where my underneath thing went that I usually use. Just a minute. I have a... Oh, just a second. See if I can reach it. This should work fine. There. Sorry, it just helps when you're working a bit on a bit of an angle. So here I thought I was all ready to go. Figures. Okay. Now I need to mix for my sky ultramarine. Just spritzing my other colors I'm going to need eventually. I'm going to need yellow ochre. So I'm going to use, so you either use, to get your gray, you use ultramarine and then either burnt sienna or burnt umber. And I think I'm going to use burnt umber just because the clouds in this picture are fairly dark. So that'll give me a little bit of a darker gray. All right, and I use my medium-sized brush to do my mixing. Ultramarine. Should have done this before I wet my sky, so I may have to go back and wet again, which is fine. Now, I have a piece of paper here I can use to test my color. So there I've got my nice neutral mixed gray. And let's see, I do need to wet again because I lost my sheen. This is a Pentallic watercolor journal. It has 140-pound cold press paper. It curls a little bit because it's in a journal, but that's okay. All right, so I'm using my number 7. It's a very dreary, cloudy day, so I'm going to start with just a layer of gray, and I'll go back in and create the clouds. Sorry, I hope I'm on screen there. So while it's still wet, I'm going to go in with more color. A little too much. It's okay. You can manipulate that a little bit. Remember, it's not going to dry this dark. It dries about half the color, or half the intensity about. Okay, you want to be careful. You've got to do this while you still have some sheen on your page you can add. Once you lose your sheen, you won't be adding color. You will add blooms, which some people don't mind, but I do. Okay. Hey, Zeely Green. I am painting. Oh, hold on. One moment, please. I unplugged this when I plugged in my new Cameo. Now I have to plug this back in since I unplugged my old one. I have a spot for it. I just have to plug it in. Cameo. Oh, wait a minute. I think it has to go the other way. For heaven's sakes. No, that's still the wrong way. I thought I turned it around, but obviously I didn't. There we go. Heat gun, Paula. The prompt was cloudy. Prompt was cloudy. Indigo and sepia to make a gray. Well, and yeah, you can use. There's a lot of different combinations. I tend to use. Oh, sorry. I had to brain freeze. I tend to use ultramarine and burnt umber or burnt sienna because more often I'll have used my burnt umber or burnt sienna or my ultramarine somewhere else in the painting. And so I like to make my grays or any of my mixes using colors I'm using somewhere else in the painting. Now this painting in particular doesn't really have ultramarine anywhere else because it's all grays. The water are gray. The water is gray because there's so much gray in the cloudy sky. So, and I'm actually going to add a little more dark to the underside of these clouds just to add a little wee bit more depth. A little more shape. So I'm going to go in with my smaller brush, my number 3, and I'm just going to add more of that same color because as you layer, it creates darker colors, darker shapes. And this will add more depth. So what you do is you put it down, then you wash off your brush, clean it, dry it on. I've got a towel sitting here next to my thing, and then you just go in and kind of feather that edge so you don't end with a harsh edge. My clouds are dark and kind of sort of threatening but not violent, so I want to kind of soften up this edge a little bit because they don't look really stormy. So I'm softening up that edge just a little bit along there. By going into it and letting it feather up a little. this one has more of a dark shape kind of all the way up there. So I'm going to kind of, oops, I'm going to need more water in my brush because my paint is not releasing. Now, in this area, I've added a little bit too much color. There's a nice bright spot right here. So I'm just going to go in with a clean wet brush and pull out just a little bit of that color right there. There we go. And along here as well. I went a little too dark right along the mountains here, so I'm just going to go in, pull a little bit of that up. That'll make more of a difference between that dark cloud there and what's underneath it. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. All right, where did my other, oh, there it is. Yeah, well, I haven't tried the White Knights, but I do hear they are really good. All I know is I will never go back to my Winsor and Newton Cotman watercolors. Never. Now that I have used my, Shinhan artist quality watercolors and my and my M Grams, yeah, I will never go back, ever. Go back to my student Cotmans. Nope. Will not happen, ever. So I'm going to do my river, and of course your water is a reflection of your surroundings. And so this water, this river, is taking on your cloudy sky. So I need that wonderful, nice, it's actually a very pretty gray, that ultramarine, and I need to make more. Okay, a little too brown, put a little bit too much burnt umber, so I need to add ultramarine. That's why you check, always check. It's a little too blue. Sometimes it's hard to get that good balance. All right. Silly. All right. Actually, I may need to use my smaller brush. I'm still not comfortable using as large a brush as I should use. They say use as large a brush as you can. Yeah, well, I'm still not comfortable enough with my brush ability. So first, I'm going to get a little color down. Get the water base, kind of. Yeah, I need to. Oh, I like how that's spreading there. Must not be a very windy day because the water is very smooth considering the clouds. Okay, before I do any more, I think I need to dry that because I've lost the some of the sheen. Uh-oh, Dorothy. What did I miss? It's hard to keep up with chat when you're watercoloring because you have to move. Oh no, Dr. Dot. Uh-oh. Well, you guys aren't going to guess what I did. Last night before I went to bed, I was hungry. So I took back some turkey from Christmas when I came back. And so I put it in the freezer and I took it out last night before I went to bed and mixed up some, I cut it up to make turkey burgers. And of course, with our hot turkey burgers, we use mayonnaise and some of the leftover gravy. And I didn't have any gravy from Christmas left over, but I did have some KFC gravy left from the day before. So my mayo and my gravy, mixed it, cut it all up, ate a chicken burger. Then I covered my bowl with my leftover turkey so that I could have more turkey burgers today. And put it in the fridge. So I thought, I get up today, went to have a turkey burger for lunch, and there was no turkey burger stuff in the fridge. I was like, where the heck did the turkey burger go? Yeah, well, I put it in the microwave instead of in the fridge. I guess I was a little bit tired. Anyway. So, yeah. I need my next smaller one. I need my 000 brush. Wherever it is. Wherever it is. I don't know where it is. It's this one. It's number 2. Ha! Oh, that's the one I couldn't find earlier either, was it? Wasn't it? Well, here's I've got a detail one from a different set. It's a rigger, I guess, technically, but it will do the trick that I want. need a little more color for this to work. So I'm going in with my damp brush, starting away from the line and moving in towards it to kind of encourage it to spread in a little bit. And I do love this, Jillian. I've said this before. Since I was little, I've wanted to learn how to watercolor, and I never ever thought, I never had the chance to do watercolor classes or anything because I was so busy with all my music stuff growing up. I didn't have time to add anything else. So I am so glad to have found it now. It's like a dream being fulfilled. It's very cool. Uh-oh. That still has some gray in it. Not that that matters because it is going to be gray. Alright, so it's darker on this side of this pool of water. So I will start there with the color. And then work it down. Clean my brush so that I'm moving it down with clean water so it does lighten as I move it down. Going in with my rigger again just to get a little more color on that side, but it's still wet so it will blend and move. Ooh, a little too much, Jean. Whoops, a little too much color. And then just a little bit of color through here. I need to see what details this little stream needs. Bye, Judy! Unfortunately, it ruined all my yummy turkey. There's not enough shine in my river to make it look like water. So, I'm going to go back in take out some of this color right in through here that matches that light spot there. And then over here, there is less color as well. There's kind of a shine there. That helps some. Just didn't have enough contrast between light and dark to make it look realistic. Okay, so down and around here, it's a little darker. It's also going to need some green when I get my hills in, but right now I will add some darkness with gray. Hi, Bren. Nice to see you. CB, unfortunately, I can't show the reference photo. It is a landscape scene from Norway. The prompt was cloudy. And the photo is from Paint My Photo, and apparently, I didn't realize this, but Lindsay the Frugal Crafter said you can't show them live on TV without permission. You can use them, paint them, but you can't actually show the photo. So unfortunately, I can't show my reference photo because it's not mine. Nice to have you, Bren. I'm learning to watercolor, so all right, so now I need to mix my greens and my yellows. So I need some yellow ochre because that's a nice neutral yellow. So yellow ochre. And these are M-grams. And then I need the sap green. I'm going to need a fair amount of that. And it's going to need toned down just a little bit in places. I am also going to need, I will tone that down as I go, I guess. Then I also need burnt umber, which is why I use the burnt umber with my, all right. So I'm going to start with some areas here of random patches of yellow ochre, which will help neutralize the sap green just a little bit so that it's not so bright on a dreary, cloudy day. I'm trying to make sure that I create the, should have put some yellow ochre all along that river bank, I think, but we'll see. So I'm trying to create the shape of this hill using my stroke so it shows as not flat. There's a lot of rocks in here too, so that's why I'm not filling it all in with the green and yellow ochre. So I do need to add some more yellow ochre along the river there. And I need more sap green. This sap green is much more realistic than my Shinhan. My Shinhan sap green is very pretty, but it's a little bit brighter, so it's not really quite as natural looking. Lots of rocks in there, and the actual mountains are rocks, but there is some grass that goes up, so I'm trying to Alright, I think I need to go in now with my burnt umber and some of my gray. So I need to use, I'm going to go to my smaller brush here. Oh! A little bit of green in there, but I'm going to make sure that the gray is the more predominant color. Because of course the farther back you go, the more gray. So I'm going to take a little bit of my burnt umber here And I'm going to add some of my gray. I didn't get the shapes of those done very well. And yes, I'm leaving a little bit white there on purpose because there is a little bit of glow there. Okay. It is actually a photo from Norway somewhere, CB. Not that mine's going to look exactly like the prompt photo by any stretch. I kind of messed up the mountain shapes a little bit. Oh well. It's just reference, right? Okay, so let's keep working here. Yeah, I knew this one was going to be a challenge for me. But if you don't challenge yourself, you're not going to improve. I don't have enough variation in the grassy area, so I need to add a little texture there. I will probably do that with my fan brush later. some brown over here. This working. Paper towel. And this needs to be green the rest of the way up here. Actually need to add some dark to these mountains because they're too brown, but that will be a texture layer, so I will be adding some burnt umber. Oh, just realized I can make the color I need for my hills by adding my sap green to the burnt umber. That mistake was just found by accidentally not using a clean brush. Uh-oh, did my chat freeze or are we just not talking? Oh, okay. I guess we're just all, I've hypnotized you all, which is fine. Okay. Oh, darn. Oops, now it's not enough water. Still have to lift out some clouds from the sky there, so somehow I ended up with a little bit too much brown in that. I want it to be gray. All right. No problem. No, I think it's Norway if I remember correctly. If I remember correctly, it's somewhere in Norway. All right, so this area here needs a little more color. There we go. All right, heat gun. Oh, wait a minute. I have a spot here I need to fix still. And it actually needs some green right here. Now I need to heat gun it. Okay. Ah, Sarah was eating lunch. Well, I guess that is allowed. All right, so this needs a little more green here. I think I need to mix a little yellow ochre in with my greens. That's a little better, I think. So I'm going to take a little bit of that green and just add a little wee bit of the burnt umber, just a smidge to make it darker. But I still want green. And I just need to make sure I have a nice point. Still not dark enough. A little better. Okay, so now I need to darken up this a little bit, so I need to take just a little bit of my ultramarine, but not too much. And so what I'm doing is I'm just putting some ultramarine up on top of my palette, and then I'm going to take a little bit down into my, because I still want it to be brown, I just want it dark brown. Okay. can also add some green to it in places if I want it to stay more green. But I still have to take out some cloud color out of this. So back in with some green. Now I need to dry that part before I can do the hill in front. Hi, Debbie. All right, now for this next hill, I need to fix my, to clean out this one. I need to take yellow ochre with just a little bit of burnt umber in it to make a lighter brown mix. And because it's ended up a little bit too dark, because I had the green on it underneath, but it's supposed to be lighter. Maybe I can pull it up a little bit. Maybe I just need the yellow ochre. Let's try just the yellow ochre, Jean. See what happens. Because yellow ochre is a little more opaque than some of the other colors. So it should help lighten that up. Let's see. I'm going to use it fairly thick. See if it'll lighten up that color for me. That's good. And then what I need to do is to get a better definition is I need to go in on the back side of this. Need to dry that first. I'm doing a very bad job of this, let's just say. For the record. Now that I've got this done, I think I need a little more color in my hills. So what I need to do is I need to darken what's behind that one that I just put in to make a difference. So that it shows up as lighter. just making more of a mess. Well, you know, sometimes you learn to just stop while you're behind. Oh, there, that's going to work. Okay, that's going to work to define that hill, to show that it's in front. That is going to work. I'm just letting it flow up a little bit. There we go. There we go. Okay, I'm going to leave it. Okay. Let's work a little bit down here. Okay. I need my smaller brush. Let's just use my little one. So I just tipped into my gray and then into my burnt umber just to get some color so I can make little details in these this rock area. Just kind of yeah, CB a little bit. So yeah, it's scary sometimes, you know, until you start adding the details and then it kind of starts coming to life a little bit. Okay, I need a little yellow ochre here. So I'm just going to go right into the palette to get my yellow ochre because I really need to lighten up parts of this. It's way too dark. And it was dark because I had the green there beforehand, so then when I put the burnt umber down, it darkened it. So this time I'm thinking of highlights instead of lowlights, just with some nice thick yellow ochre. Still may need to go in over here with some lowlights, but we shall see. Just need to check that, see. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so I need to add a little bit more depth here to this. Water. Oh, forgot to put color in my little island there. Oops. Okay, so I still need to fix this area here. Get some depth into this little area here. Oh, sorry. Apologize, my sisters are texting and oh, how come it's that dark? It shouldn't be that dark. Oh dear. Oh dear. What did I do? Yeah. Now I messed up that spot. Okay, so now I think I'm okay. I need to the fjords of Norway. That's right. Oh, I need some green here as well. Oops. Need to spritz again. It's dried out. Just trying to get a little texture here. Okay. Just trying to get a little texture into this grassy area. Trying to dry it off and splay out the, hit it with some green and a little yellow ochre. So I still have to, I think I need to add a little more color, one more layer of gray to the water, because now that I have everything else done, this is not dark enough. The light part is not gray enough. So I need to mix a little more of my gray, so ultramarine and burnt umber. Whoa, way too much burnt umber, Jean. Yikes. I better check that. I think it's way too much. Oh, not way too much, but a little bit too much. So just a smidge more blue and we should be good. All right, now I just have to take out some clouds in the from the mountains here, and we're done. Uh-oh. Not sure where that water drop came from, but all right, so now I just need to take some clouds out of this tall mountain top here. So I think I will use my number 7, I think. All right, so I'm coming in with a clean brush, and I may need to actually use a scrubber. And for my scrubbers, I just use an old, oh, here it is. It's by Curry's, but it is a hog's, it's for oil painting, so it's a hog hair. You just be careful that you don't scrub so hard that you ruin the So I'm going to make the top part of this I'm going to fuzz out the top part of this mountain also so that it looks like it's going into the clouds. This one as well. I'm gonna have to go back in and put a little bit of gray in this because it's a little bit brown. So to make it look like clouds and not just some weird mountain effect, I have to go in with some. So I'm just going to use my small brush and go in with a little bit of the gray, then dab it off. It'll just neutralize the brown look. Kind of. Oh, excuse me. Oh, thanks, Orla. Hello, hello, hello. Hope you're feeling better and hope Walter is feeling better. I think I took a little bit too much of the gray off. That didn't work out as well as I hoped. Oh well, I didn't get them shaped very well. I think though, I think I know what I can fix it with. Let me try something. Let me try some white here. Oh, the white, for some reason my white does not want to stay in my palette. And it is M. Graham. And I do wet it every now and then, but for some reason it doesn't like to, and I guess that's just because of the nature of it. It is opaque, so it does have some different properties. So I'm going to go in with my white. See if it'll help with the kind of fluffy look. I don't know if that's going to help or not. Until it dries, I won't know. Sorry, my knee's a bit uncomfortable. A ham sandwich. Well, that sounds good, Jillian. Yeah, the weather certainly doesn't help, does it? There we go. I'm finished. I'm not going to do any more because I'll just ruin it if I keep trying. So my next prompt is castle, and I'm not sure I have time to do the castle one. I know I don't have time to do the castle one. So I think what I'm going to do is stop this recording and maybe start a new recording